What's up, YouTube? My name is YesterGames, and today I am back. I have finally returned from the grave with another episode of my WWE 2K17 Car Showcase series. Now, before we get into this, I have a couple things I need to say. First of all, the first thing I have to say most of all is that I apologize for the absence of these episodes. The very baseline of it is that for about the past 2 weeks I have been just completely busy and have not had the time to make the cars that I needed to make, as well as some of the motivation and some of the ideas. I have been like completely drained for the past 2 weeks, which is why there's been an absence. Well, I've been kind of on hiatus for the past 2 weeks of everything. I just started streaming again for some games, but that is the main reason. I've had a lot of stuff going on. For example, I'm moving at the end of well, it's May when I'm uploading this, but it'll be June tomorrow. I'm moving at the end of June, so that is something that I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna try to keep the videos constant. There's probably gonna be like a couple days where it's not going to be anything because I am moving, so I have to get set up. But my main thing is that I apologize for this video taking so long to be uploaded. Now, as you guys can probably read by the title, if I put it in the title, I'm not sure what the title of this video is going to be yet, but if it is the title, you can probably read it. This video is specifically for the cars that will start off the universe mode, that will be starting out in tag teams, in two-man groups. I don't have any factions when I'm starting out. I just have tag teams. So we're going to start out with this tag team first, because I'm not sure about this, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment. So basically, here is Lightning, and in case you guys are wondering, you just saw the name of the tag team on the back there. The tag team is Elements of the Storm. This just says Element of the Storm because I kind of, actually, honestly, I forgot the S. I forgot the S in Elements. I just wrote Element. That's my bad. So the tag team is called Elements of the Storm. This is Lightning right here, and his tag team partner will be Thunder. So real quick, I'm just gonna drag your guys' attention over to the top left corner of the screen so you guys can see everything you need to know. His name, Lightning. His finishing move is the Dragon Sleeper, which I'll be calling it Visual Storm. He is going to be in the tag team Elements of the Storm, and his tag team partner will be Thunder. So that's just a quick little rundown of who he is. This is Lightning. Now, this attire, as well as the other one, I feel like I may have done too much with what my idea was. See, my idea originally was very innovative, or something that I'm not used to doing. So when I tried to do it and I tried to make it look good, it came out decent, right? Like, it's not a completely shitty attire, although it's not perfect. And it honestly, it would have taken me at least 2 more days to finish this up, and I'm really mad at myself about how it's taken so long to get this up already. So I just decided that I will upload this video now, and I'm gonna be putting this on warning that both Lightning and Thunder are not finished yet. They have both of their attires, attires A and attires B, but they're not finished yet. I have to optimize them. I have to do something with them to make it work. So take both him, Lightning, and Thunder with a grain of salt, because they're not 100% yet. I'll probably upload another video showing you guys the final version of Lightning and Thunder, so that you guys can see what they're gonna finish look like. Or I'll just upload them and then I'll show them in the next male episode. I probably should have saved Lightning and Thunder for last. So because I said that, the next episode of the car showcase will be the females, and the last episode will be another all-male episode. Okay, so that's that. So anyway, this is Lightning's first attire. I got this pattern off of Google, which is another reason that I was taking so long to make this episode. Goddamn logo uploader was not working for me for days. For days, dude. I've been trying to get this to work for days. I needed this to work, and when it finally did, it like didn't come out perfect. So I found this texture which really looks cool because it's like really earth, cracked earth. I thought it'd be really cool for the elements of the storm thing. And it does look cool. It's just like all these orange lines kind of coming out of everywhere. I think they look like kind of cool on some level. They kind of add something different to it, but I feel like looking at it from this perspective, it looks bad. When it's in a match, I'm actually digging it, but from this perspective, when there's no action, when you can really take the time to look at everything with your eyes, it doesn't look very good. Although the mask, I'm actually very happy with. The mask looks very nicely. It looks very nice. I don't know why I said nicely. That's not how you say that. I like the mask. It looks very nice. I didn't put anything on it because I wasn't sure what to put on it, which is another reason I'm holding back here when I say that Lightning and Thunder are not optimized yet. I did this because, like I said, Lightning more specifically, Thunder is, I don't want to say he's normal, but he is something that I'm more comfortable doing. Lightning, I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and trying to do something different, and it didn't turn out awful. It just didn't turn out good. It didn't meet my standard. So I'm going to have to go back and optimize them both, because Thunder isn't amazing either. So you guys can see everything else about Lightning. I gave him that Hardy Boy tattoo, elbow pad and wrist tape, knee pads and boots. And I gave him this entrance attire, the Cody Rhodes robe, or jacket, whichever one you want to call it. So you guys can see that. I was really trying to go for this here because I wanted to have luchadors when I started, and I thought that putting them in a tag team together would be good. And I thought that the elements of the storm thing, like the gimmick would work, and the luchadors would make it even better. Although I feel like I did it in the wrong way. Maybe it's because I'm an American, so I'm not as used as used as used to luchadors. So like making a luchador is actually kind of hard for me because I'm not used to doing that. That's one of the things that's outside of my comfort zone. I can make a normal looking person, as you can see throughout some of the other parts of the video, but making a luchador has always been a hard difficulty for me. It's always been a gray area that I'm not very happy with, so I'm trying to fix that. And this is like my first attempt at it. As you can tell, it's not perfect. So now let's move on to the second attire. Okay, so this is like the dumbest attire. I'm so serious, guys. This is the dumbest shit ever. This is some cringy shit right here. This is some really, really dumb stuff. I kept the boots and the knee pads the same, so I'm just gonna skip over that. This looks very, very bad. So my idea was that I thought the full bodysuit would be cool. I think it actually will be cool, is though I think my issue with that I just gave him the full bodysuit. That's all I gave him. So I probably should have added more stuff in between to do something with it. So, and that didn't come out right. But what I mean by that is, so you guys can see obviously it's a full bodysuit. It's plaid, it's blue plaid, element of the storm on the back. So I feel like I should have done some stuff on top of everything to make it look better. And I can see that now, of course. But like I said, they're not optimized yet. They're not finished. So like, say what a good example of putting stuff on top of this was, just keep the plaid and everything as it is so it looks like this. By the way, if you guys are curious, all of this is satin, by the way. That's what the material is. It's satin. Even the mask. The matte is satin too. And I'm speaking specifically for the bodysuit. I would have just gone on Google, got some black fire, and put it like maybe all around the chest, some of the arms, some of the back, and then filled out like a certain area. So like say for the arm, I would put black fire like here, and all this would be black. I would put black fire here, all this would be black. Black fire all around like the nipples. So kind of it would form like a circle, and then maybe I would just like put some black like all around, and then the black fire would close in again here, and it would close up with some more blue plaid with the element of the storm logo. So like that's an idea, but like this tile looks really stupid. It looks very stupid. I thought that the full body suit would look cool, and it really doesn't. It looks very retarded. So don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. I said it's not finished yet. It's not finished. I just really wanted to get this video out. I really did. And I gave him this jacket this time. I actually like this jacket more than the Cody Rhodes jacket. I might change the first one for this. Alright, I'm gonna pull your guys' attention into the top left corner once again, so you guys can see all the information about Lightning, his name, the tag team he's in, his tag team partner, as well as his finishing move. Sorry about that pause, I yawned. And now we're going to move on to Lightning's tag team partner, who I decided to name Thunder. That full body suit looks completely horrible, man. Alright, guys. So here is Thunder. Now, see, in comparing Lightning to Thunder, Thunder turned out better. I think it's because I was more comfortable with Thunder, primarily attire-wise, because I'm not used to the full body suit. I'm used to tights. I can do tights and trunks and pants and all that good stuff. I prefer tights and trunks, but pants are cool too. If I think it's gonna help the attire, I'll do it. I just prefer tights and trunks. The full body suit is so out of my field that Lightning turned out very bad. Although Thunder here isn't perfect either, but he'll come around. Like I said, I have to optimize both of them. So here's the first attire for Thunder. As you guys can see, the pattern is the same. First of all, I gave him this KIA tattoo. If you don't know what KIA means, it's an army term standing for killed in action. Gave him some wrist tape and an elbow pad. I made him a very muscular man. That wasn't intended. My original thought was that he would have big E's, big splash. It's just like a running splash. But it would have looked better because my intention was to have him become a fatter man. A fatter man. Not Kevin Owens fat, maybe like Mark Henry fat. Although Mark Henry is more muscular. It would have made a little bit more sense, but since in the end he turned out more muscular, I had to change up his finisher from that big splash to the Apollo Crews finisher, the back suplex spin power bomb. That is so much, and so I mean it's a cool finisher, but it's so much. He needs to change that name. It's a horrible thing. But anyway, here is Thunder's mask. Turned out pretty well. I like the mask because I also like the mask for Lightning here too, because it just works. I mean, it's very simple because there's more dead zones, or maybe not more dead zones, but it's a smaller surface for the mask. I don't have to worry about the orange lines like I did with Lightning on the trunks. All of it kind of sticks together. So here's the mask. Now moving down here. I don't have this on Lightning because it didn't work as well as I wanted to, so I decided to cut them. But the original idea was that I would have these lightning bolts, like all around. And then Element of the Storm. I actually didn't realize that. Apparently, I did the same thing with thunder that I did with lightning. It's supposed to be elements. Elements, multiple, not singular, plural. So that's my fault. It's supposed to say element of the storm, but I messed that up. By the way, storm is a logo. That's not in the game. I just wanted to point that out in case anyone was curious. So that would also like explain like all of the lightning bolts going around the attire. I'm actually pretty content with these tights because I think they look pretty cool. And as you guys can see, I gave him some boots and knee pad. You know, nothing all different. I'm feeling the knee pads. Gave him this old Big E Langston New Day jacket. Nothing on it because I didn't think I really needed to. Plus, not a whole lot of room because I'm only using 2 colors really. So I just thought it would be pretty cool. In all fairness, if I really wanted to, I could probably, I'm thinking about this right now, I could probably just layer, I guess, I'm going to say layer this whole jacket up with the pattern or the texture that I use for the mask and the tights, but I don't think that would look as good. I think it would blend in a whole lot, and it's too much. Okay, so with Thunder, I feel like I did a better job when it comes to the plaid, but it still looks bad. In comparison to Lightning, it's better, but overall, it still looks bad. I think I might have to find a new kind of pattern, maybe a new pattern color, maybe just a whole new pattern generally, but I don't think the plaid is what I should be using. So here's what we got here. This is just what we came up with. Going to the mask, I got these blue lightning bolts, which I thought would be cool. Give him a sleeve, an elbow pad, wrist tape, some new trunks instead of tights. These are metallic, if I believe so. I believe I did metallic here. I actually kind of like it. I think it looks really cool. I didn't like it when I was making the attire, but now looking at it, I think it looks pretty dope. I'm actually happy I used the metallic here. I might have to use it more. I'm so used to using, I think, Velcro or cloth that I don't use a whole lot of the other ones. But I'm pretty happy about this. I think this looks pretty cool, using the metallic here. And the blue thunderbolts are also here, as you guys can see. And elements of the storm. So this time, I did it correctly. This says elements. E-L-E-M-E-N-T-S. Elements. I messed that up on the first attire for both of them. But this time it's correct. So as you guys can see, boots, knee pad. Another knee pad. This one is metallic still with the blue thunderbolt. Thunderbolt? Lightning bolt. I don't know. I'm gonna probably change up between the both of them. I think I'm saying lightning bolt this whole time, but thunderbolt also sounds cool. So here's his entrance attire for this attire. It's a Sting jacket with a lot of blue and black all around. And the blue thunderbolt makes an appearance on the back. So there we go. Alright, so we're done with both lightning and thunder, the elements of the storm. Now, like I said before, these guys are not finished, they're not optimized. Thunder is better than lightning, but I need them both to be perfect. Or not perfect, but as best as I can get them. And they're not at their best right now. They are not going to be at their best. My estimate is that I'm getting this uploaded on a Tuesday night. So my estimate is that I'll be going away Friday, and I won't be back until like Saturday. So I'll probably have a video uploaded maybe that Monday, showing off the finished attires. I'm gonna need a couple days to really change it up. I'm gonna have to do some research on what a good luchador looks like in real life as well as in other people's 2K games and just general CAW creations. I'm gonna have to look up what it means to look like a good luchador, because that is a blind spot in my car creation skills. So anyway, guys, now we're finished with the rough part of this episode. We're finished with the bad parts. We're going to move on to the good parts with our next tag team, Jeff and Riley Sparks. Alright, guys, so here is Riley Sparks. You may recognize Riley because he's a YouTube subscriber call that I didn't delete. Now, this first attire I'm going to run through because the first attire is the same as another attire that was in before. This attire was originally the second attire, the alt attire for the first universe mode. But when I decided to reset, I looked at Riley and I said that I like this attire better than the first one. So I replaced the original first attire with this one, and then I changed up the second attire completely. So this is the now first attire, formerly the second one. I still have the New Day logo right there, the eagle, I guess. I don't actually know what that is. I think it's an eagle. And Sparks is right there. Had these tassels on the boots, which I think are pretty cool. I gave him this nice jacket, which reads Super Kick City on the back of it. I don't really like this hoodie too much, just because of the black. It doesn't look right to me. I'm really off with my colors. When I say I want black, I want black. I don't want this gray. So here is Riley's other attire. Here is the attire that I changed. He's a new attire. And this was kind of, I don't want to say this is like a template, but this is kind of like a demo for what my idea behind Lightning and Thunders was, because I use this pattern that I found on CC for basically the entire attire. They're like little running men. They remind me of little Sami Zayns. So this is what I came up with. The pattern stretches all along the trunks, as you guys can see. Some of it overlaps because of this game's dead zones in between, like weird little corners. And as you guys can see, Sparks is right there across the back of the trunks. Nothing else to show on the upper body. There's wrist and hand tape as well as the elbow pads. Now here we have this here, the knees and the boots. I did put socks on him because I wasn't comfortable with the difference between the boots and the knee pads, like that little bit of skin difference. It looked kind of stupid to me. So here we go here with these boots. Get a little red here. The knee pad that still has the pattern all over it. That red stripe is also on the trunks. And I didn't test the trunks, and I forgot to, I apologize. But on the trunks, I believe it's there because I want it to be there. I'm sorry guys, I yawned again. It's 2:12 in the morning, so I'm a little bit tired. But this stripe is different. Like I said, the dead zones in this game messed up my pattern. So some of the pattern on this side is blending into this side, where like the little running men aren't fully formed. You can see like their upper body and then their bottom half's phasing out. So instead of trying to do something or having like a spot where there's no people at all, I just had to have a stripe here. I thought it was a better idea. I didn't want to have either idea, and I didn't like it. So that's the second attire for Riley. Now here's the entrance attire for the second attire. Now this is a hoodie that I like because it actually goes black and not gray like the first one. And I still have Super Kick City written on the back of it. So this is what we have for Riley Sparks here. One hoodie zipped up, one hoodie zipped down. One hoodie I like, one hoodie I don't. You can probably guess which one is which. Now, you guys can see in the top left corner, Riley Sparks information. His name is Riley Sparks. His finishing move is the super kick. You notice a question mark by the super kick. That's because I'm not sure what I'm going to be calling his finishing move yet. I'm alternating between just calling it the super kick, the super spark, or the super spark kick. Haven't really decided yet. He's in a tag team with his brother Jeff Sparks, which is my own Caw. Riley Sparks is a YouTube subscriber Caw, but Jeff Sparks is my own Caw. And I'm gonna be calling them the Spark Brothers, although I probably won't use that name a whole lot. I'll probably alternate between just saying Jeff and Riley Sparks and the Spark Brothers. So now we are done here with Riley Sparks. Let's move on to our next Caw. Riley Sparks' tag team partner slash brother, Jeff Sparks. Alright guys, so here is Jeff Sparks. You guys can see, gave him some nice beard action. You guys can probably tell by a lot of my calls, but I'm a beard loving man. I love me some beards. Give him also this Chris Jericho hairstyle. Gave him these Mojo. No, I was about to say Mojo Rally. My bad. These are not Mojo Rally. These are Austin Aries wristbands. Give him one here and one here. An elbow pad. Gave him some nice Christian tights with some words around them. Here we have one word, spark. Another word, of. Another word, life. Altogether, that says spark of life, which is, you notice in the top left corner of the screen, is the name of his finishing move, the spark of life. His finishing move being the power bomb, a lung blower, which I believe, I don't think he uses it anymore, but I believe it was used by Roderick Strong before. I think he's using the backbreaker now into, I mean, not the backbreaker, the back suplex into the backbreaker with the double knees. I believe that's his current finisher in NXT. But I'm using the powerbomb lung blower for Jeff Sparks here. So you guys can see the tights here. I'm actually really happy about these tights. I think they look pretty cool. You guys can see, like, one side is a stripe all the way down, with the New Day logo still being present. Through the tights, to the knee pads, to the boots. I couldn't get that to go away, so that's kind of an issue. But you won't see that during a match, so I'm not going to focus on it. Now for the other side, I only have this going from the boots to the knee pads, because when I experimented with having it do just like this, I didn't like it as much. I didn't want to put the New Day logo on this side too, and I didn't want to put Spark down the line, so I just decided overall not to have it. It's blank space, but I actually like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm happy with this attire. Now you guys can see his entrance attire. Give him that Enzo Amore leopard skin jacket. Here you guys can see it. The red and yellow still making its appearance here. The red and yellow. Oh, it's Hulkamania, brother. Forget I said that. Anyway, on the back of the jacket, you guys can see the words once again that are on the tights, which you can't actually see right now. Oh, well, you can see Spark. You can see Spark of Life. Once again, the name of his finishing move. Now we're going to move on super quickly. We're just going to roll right into his second attire, which I also really like. One thing that I don't normally do that I did for Jeff is that I gave him these bicep bands. I think they look pretty cool. Anyway, elbow pad, wrist tape, nothing to talk about right there besides the bicep bands, which I don't really use a whole lot. Just wanted to point that out because I thought they were cool. Here are the the trunks, the pattern makes a debut again, and I like this a little bit better than Riley's, only because there's no dead zones. So it has a very clear start, very clear end, very clear start, very clear end. The top and the bottom are a little bit, I mean, you're not gonna always win, but I actually still like it. I think it looks really, really cool. I'm happy with this pattern that I found. It's a good pattern. I don't know where this pattern comes from, but it's a cool looking pattern. You guys can just see it right there on the back of the trunks. I have the New Day logo appearing once again. And then I have Sparks. I just realized that oh no, okay. I was thinking, did I misspell Sparks? No, well, I kind of did, because in America you read things left to right. This is written from right to left. So I kind of actually did misspell Sparks, even it's backwards. So it should be Sparks. It's written backwards. That's my bad. Okay. I feel bad. But having a dumb day. So it does say Sparks, guys. It's just backwards. My apologies. But it does say Sparks along that line. I don't know what I was doing when I made this. I probably wasn't thinking about how it was going to be read normally. I was probably rotating it from the front to the back like this, so it made sense to me. But I didn't think about how it was going to be read. So you guys can see that. Here are the boots and the knee pads. Got some yellow there. Looking nice. Now here is his entrance attire. It's just a nice little shirt here that says Sparks equals the GOAT. The is implied. If you don't know what that means, GOAT stands for greatest of all time. Time, all of greatest. Greatest of all time. The Sparks are the greatest of all time. Riley Sparks, Jeff Sparks are the GOATs. And then I have the New Day logo again appearing on the back, except it's in a different color scheme than it is on the trunks. It's in the opposite color scheme. Except the circle. The circle's still black, but it's in the opposite outline color, I mean. So once again, guys, I'm going to point your guys' attention to the top left corner of the screen so you guys can see Riley Sparks' information. I said Riley Sparks. Jeff Sparks' information. His name is Jeff Sparks. I have him with the Power Bomb lung blower, which I'm going to be calling the Spark of Life. He's partnered with his brother, Riley Sparks. And the tag team will be called the Spark Brothers. Even though, like I said already, I'll probably be alternating between Spark Brothers and Jeff and Riley Sparks. So, alright guys, here is Jeff Sparks. Now, let's move on to our third tag team. It's going to be Pain and Zach Wolf, Death's Bounty. Alright guys, so here we are moving on to Death's Bounty. I'm going to run through this really quickly because the first attire for both Pain and Zach Wolf is the exact same attire that they had from the beginning. I didn't really need to change it, so we're going to run through this super quickly. Here is Pain. Gave him the skull face paint and everything. Death's Bounty. You guys can see his information top left corner of the screen. Pain, his tag team partner, is Zach Wolf. You guys can see the name of the team in the top left corner as well as on the shirt right now. Death's Bounty. And I gave his finishing move the Choke Slam, which I'm going to be calling Death's Deliverer. I thought that would be a cool name for a finisher, being Death's Bounty and everything. So that's cool. So now we're going to move on to Pain's new attire, the attire that I actually redid. Here is his new attire. So as you guys can see, I changed up kind of a lot of stuff. For one thing, there's no more sleeves. There's just elbow pads and wrist tape. I changed up the face paint completely. New face paint, skull face paint that covers up like the whole face. It's not like normal skull face paint. It reminds me more of Day of the Dead, kind of Mexican heritage kind of face paint, but I still like it because it looks really, really cool. So I'm gonna keep this going. Here are the new trunks. I'm still using these kind of like boxer trunks, but they're a little bit different now. Death's Bounty will be all on the back right here, so you guys can read it. You guys can read his ass. With some boots and knee pads here. Nothing to talk about there. I gave him this nice jacket for his entrance attire, just because. Nothing on the back of it, because I didn't feel the need to put anything on the back of it. Just thought it would look cool. Wanted him to have a jacket. I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on Death's Bounty, just because I don't need to. Because I'm only showing off really one new attire. The first attire is the exact same attire, so Death's Bounty is going to go by super quickly. So one last look at Pain. You guys can see his information in the top left corner. His name is Pain. His tag team partner is Zach Wolf. Their team name is called Death's Bounty. His finisher is the choke slam that I'm going to be calling Death's Deliverer. So this is Pain, everybody. Now let's move on to his tag team partner, Zach Wolf. Alright guys, so here we have Zach Wolf, and just like with Pain, we're going to run through this attire super quickly, because it's the exact same attire that he had originally. The skull face paint with the opposite outline versus actual skull colors. Gave him a nice little sleeve here. Elbow pad. Death's Bounty is on the trunks, like dead center. You guys can see it right in front with some lines all around it on the back. Knee pads and kick pads. Entrance attire is just a nice jacket. On the back it does say Death's Bounty. Quick reference to the top left corner of the screen like I always do. Zach Wolf's information is up there, so you guys can all read that. His name's Zach Wolf. His tag team partner is Pain. Just like I've always said, the tag team's name is Death's Bounty. His finishing move is the handspring cutter, which if you don't know what that is, imagine Jay Lethal's finishing move or Will Ospreay's. And I'm gonna be calling it Bounty Collected. Okay, so here's the issue with Zach Wolf. You guys can already see it. I'm gonna have to edit this. It keeps doing this, and every time I exit out, it goes back. It resorts back to this. So I have to fix this. Like I have to destroy all the face paint. So the face paint, if you guys watch anime, you'll know that this is bleach. It is the mask of Ichigo. So I thought that would be like a cool reference to put on Zach Wolf here. Now the issue of all that is that A, it's not lined up correctly. It shouldn't be going over that eye like that. It's just, it was hard to put it on. So this is the best I could do for the moment. So that's an issue as well. And I thought it looked good for the moment. So I put some black face paint on in the background of it so that it would look even cooler. I didn't like the skin tone thing. So it's like having half and half looks better. So it took like a weird turn because the fading properties of this game started to get on my nerves, where it would fade like at a weird spot. So I decided to put some blocks down here so that I could really define where it would stop and where it would end. And when I finished the call, not when I exited like I didn't save all my work. When I finished it and I hit accept like 100 times to finish, when I came back to look at it like a couple days later to fix it, it took me a couple days to really well, not a couple days. It took me like a day, just a couple of sessions. It took me a couple of sessions to get this face paint working the best I could, which is this. This keeps happening. It keeps reverting back to this color, like this default whitish color. It should be black, because I thought it would look better as it's black. So I have to delete all of it so that I can rework it. But it is going to look like this, essentially, once it's really done. I just have to fix that. So it's going to look like that the exact same way on the end of the tire. And I would actually change the face paint, but I don't know in what order those blocks are, so I can't do it right now. But anyway, here's the rest of the attire. Here's the elbow pad, the wrist tape. I gave him some Randy Orton trunks because I like these little symbols around the sides. Def's Bounty is written on the back of the trunks with some knee pads and boots here. And then I gave him a Def's Bounty shirt available at defsbounty.net. Def's Bounty t-shirt right there. Nothing on the back of it. And yeah, that's Zach Wolf. I ran through this tag team pretty quickly because all I was really showing off was one new attire for both of them, which is only 2 attires. So this is why this one went quickly. So I'm gonna read you guys all of Zach Wolf's information real quick before we move on to our last tag team. Zach Wolf, tag team partner of Pain. Together they formed the tag team known as Def's Bounty. Zach Wolf's finishing move is the handspring cutter, which if you don't know what that is, imagine Jay Lethal's finishing move or Will Ospreay's. And I'm going to be calling it Bounty Collected. So that's it for Zach Wolf. I'm sorry about his ring. So now you guys can see it though. Wow, apparently I'm stupid. My bad, guys. So actually I'm mistaken. If you look at the attire slot 2 superstar ring attire, I'm actually incorrect. I made a mistake, guys. It shouldn't be black. It should be skin tone color. That's how it should look. The attire slot 2 superstar ring attire, the one in the middle, that's how it should look. Although for some reason when I look at it as if I'm going to edit it, it comes out like it's still white. So I'm gonna have to play a match with Zach Wolf, and I'm gonna have to find out if it will work in game or if I still have to change it. I'm not sure yet. But the slots for attire slot 2 superstar entrance and ring attire is how it should look all the time. So just keep that in mind. My apologies for that. It keeps reverting back to that white color. It's not me. I just have to fix it. So now we have to move on to our last tag team. And we're going to start out by showing you guys Cody Cole. Cody Rhodes. No. Cody Cole. Cody Cole. Alright guys, so here is our last tag team of this episode. I'm only having 4 tag teams to start out with. This tag team is the Alliance. It's going to be Bobby Brock and Cody Cole. So here's Cody Cole, and we'll show Bobby Brock in a minute. Cody Cole right here, give him the Seth Rollins hair. I had to dye all of it so that it would all come across the same shade of black. So that looks really nice. I gave him wrist tape, as you guys can see, the elbow pad. I gave him the super nice Phoenix on the front of his trunks. I don't know if you guys know the band 30 Seconds to Mars, but I found their logo on Google one day when I was scrolling through some stuff, and I looked at it like, oh my god, I need it. It looks so freaking dope. So I tried to find a logo that could fit, and eventually I did, although it was kind of like scratchy, and I don't want to say it was dirty, but I guess I don't know how to describe it actually. If you type it in 30 Seconds to Mars logo, Probably type in Phoenix after that. You can probably find it. It's one that's very dark red, and there's a lot of like pieces missing from it. It's a cool logo, so I didn't want it for this, and I couldn't find like a full logo that's just the Phoenix. Maybe the symbols included, because I did end up using symbols, but I couldn't find one that was like just the Phoenix. That looked good. So I just decided to get another Phoenix, which is this one, and I made my own symbols. So here we go to the back of the trunks. The Alliance is very prominent right there. Here are the symbols. I have just a random triangle, a square with a line through it, a circle with an X through it, and then a circle with what looks like an hourglass turned up on its side. Not sure why I did that. I thought it looked cool actually, and I am digging it, although I didn't do it for a reason. I'm trying to kind of mix two different ideas here. I'm trying to mix in some of the apocalyptic themes of the Ascension here with the symbols and kind of how they act more or less, with the seriousness and the brutality of the revival. So here's what we have here. Give them some knee pads, as you guys can see. And here are the boots with the symbols going down both sides. You guys can see it here. Here's the entrance attire. Nice jacket here. Enzo Amore jacket, if I do believe myself to be correct. This is the basic version, so there's no leopard print on this one. And the Phoenix makes a return on the back of the jacket. Alright guys, moving on to the second attire, I'm going to turn your guys' attention to the top left corner of the screen so all of you guys can see Cody Cole's information. His name is Cody Cole. He's the tag team partner of Bobby Brock. His finishing move is the Shooting Star Press, which, if you don't know what that is, it's the move that almost killed Brock Lesnar, and it's the move that Evan Bourne used to start out the RKO out of nowhere meme. And if you prefer the Indies, it's also the move that Matt Sydal uses, which is the same person, but if it depends on if you prefer the Indies or WWE. So here is his second attire. A little bit more traditional when it comes to an attire. I decided that I didn't want the Phoenix to be the Alliance's only symbol, so I also got this Batman symbol. I'm not sure if this is the Batman as in Batman Beyond, or if this is the Batman that's the Batman symbol that Red Hood wears, but regardless, I like it. The Alliance, as you can see, is spelled out, broken up into two pieces. Also, the trunks are split up as well, black to white. Here you go with the back of the trunks. The hourglass symbol turned on its side. The red triangle, the black square with the line through it, and then the circle with the X. I think it came across pretty nicely. Some nice knee pads, and then some boots. Triangle with the square and everything. There we go, guys. So here you guys can see the entrance attire for this attire. Give them just a nice little tank top with the Alliance, the new logo, or the other logo, I guess. That kind of sucks right there. I think I used a different font than the one down here, so it came out a little bit differently, but I'm still enjoying it. I still think it looks pretty cool. Didn't put anything on the back, so I just put it, it's all on the front right here. So that's all for you guys. So this is Cody Cole, guys. Once again, you guys can see all his information in the top left corner. His name's Cody Cole, a tag team partner of Bobby Brock. Together they form the Alliance. His finishing move is the Shooting Star Press. And that's all we have here. I'm not going to be calling it anything because I don't really think I need to. I had the idea of calling it the Cole Creator, but I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that yet. You know what? I'll just put Cole Creator in parentheses, and that's just an implied name. I might use it maybe when the tag team breaks up, but maybe during the tag team's reign, I won't actually use that finishing name. So anyway, guys, let's move on to our last call of this episode. The tag team partner of Cody Cole, Bobby Brock. Alright, guys, so moving on, here is Bobby Brock. Here we have him. As you guys can see, in comparison to Cody Cole, Bobby Brock and him are very similar in terms of body type and also in kind of wrestling format. I'm both making them kind of the same in terms of wrestling style. Cody Cole's a little bit more high flyer. Bobby Brock is a little bit more technical. But in terms of body type, in terms of like general build, they're very similar, but almost the same. So here's Bobby Brock. I decided to give him some of these cool football tape under the eyes. Thought that would be cool. Elbow pad, some Blake and Murphy, like really long wrist tape, or forearm tape, I guess this is better called now. The trunks, I have the Phoenix on still for the first attire, except unlike Cody Cole's, it's not white, it's black trunks. And on the back, the Alliance is still written out with all the exact same symbols, the hourglass, the triangle, the square, and the X. And then for his boots and knee pads, I tried to combine them so that they would look good. Although I had to kind of outline certain things to make it stand out. So, for example, the knee pads are kind of the same thing. It's a red circle with a black outline so that the hourglass, stands out and all. And then I had to do the same thing. So the triangle, it was pretty easy. So was the square. The circle was a little bit difficult just because it looks weird. But overall, it turned out pretty nicely. Now, moving on to the entrance attire. I gave him this nice shirt with the Phoenix on it. And then on the back, it just says the Alliance. A pretty basic shirt. I didn't want to put any other symbols on it because I didn't think I needed it. I thought this would look good as it is. The Phoenix shirt. Now, before we move on super heavily to the second attire, I just want to point out Bobby Brock's information in the top left corner of your guys' screen. His name, of course, Bobby Brock, tag team partner of Cody Cole. His finishing move is the Billy Goat's Curse, which I learned recently is actually the finishing move of Colt Cabana, which if you don't know him, he's an indie wrestler. He's the guy that CM Punk referenced in his Pipe Bomb promo. I believe he's still on ROH, so you can go and watch a Colt Cabana match. So hopefully he uses that move. It's like an inverted Boston Crab. And I'm going to be calling it the Brock Lock. I'm not going to be calling the Shooting Star for Cody Cole anything for a while. I have the Cole Creator like in the back of my head, but I don't want to use it right off the back. The Brock Lock just sounds like it would be a good move because it's his move. Cole Creator sounds like he's trying to be cool, and I don't really want to give off that impression. So anyway, that's his finisher, and as you guys know, Bobby Brock, Cody Cole, together they form the Alliance. So here is Bobby's new attire, or his second attire. I gave him the same symbol on his elbow pad. It's kind of dense down. I didn't have enough space to put the there. There's a lot of layers. So it's just his Alliance in there. But here are the trunks. Here are the Goldberg trunks. The Alliance here right across. And then the symbols on the back. I was gonna do a sleeve on one of the arms with the symbols, but when I was doing the arm, I actually forgot. So I just did the elbow pad instead. There's supposed to be a sleeve here, but I forgot to do the sleeve. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for a while. Here's what we have so far. Now this is one of the very few times that I've actually used kick pads, like the option of using kick pads as opposed to kick pads that are given to you by default because of this. The boots and the kick pad difference between like the space normally creeps me out and I really hate it, but I think it will look good during a match. So for this purpose, I'm going to ignore it and I'm going to try really hard to not see it, and we'll see what happens when he's in a match. So here are the kick pads. He just has normal shoes on, by the way. They're just like normal sneakers. The kick pads are what's important. As you guys can see, the symbols are still making an appearance. These symbols look a little bit different because I guess the kick pads have some kind of weird feature, I guess it's the same kind of feature as the boots. So the left one looks a little bit different. Triangle looks the same. The right one's a little bit tilted. Squares look almost identical, and so do the circles with the X's. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with this attire. I think that out of all these cars, I think either Death's Bounty or the Alliance are my favorite. The elements of the storm are pretty much out of the question because they're not finished yet. And I like Jeff and Riley, but they're just not as cool as the Alliance or Death's Bounty. So here is his entrance attire for this. Gave him this nice sweatshirt hoodie thing with the Alliance logo on the back. So anyway, guys, that's all for this episode of the Car Showcase. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry that it took so long to get this episode up. I will be streaming later tonight, so you guys can come by and watch the stream then. Hope you all have a nice day. Hope you guys can enjoy all of the cars that I've showcased here, all the tag teams. The next episode will be the next episode will probably be like a shorter episode that I'll be updating how Lightning and Thunder look when they're finished. So the next episode will just be like a short, like maybe 5-minute video. But the video after that will be showcasing the women, and then the video after that will be the end. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.